What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 51 of the Hive Mind podcast. Going to be giving you guys a solo Zyback monologue this week. Dopamine was not able to make it. He's got a Blizzcon party at his house with a whole bunch of people over. He told me weeks ahead of time that he wasn't going to be able to do it, so here we are with the second Zyback monologue. I've done one of these in the past where he couldn't make it, and figured I'd do another one because people seem to like it, and it's nice to have a little heart-to-heart with you guys. So be sure to check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you want to listen to us. That's great. Lots of kind of cool stuff this week. So BlizzCon is this week. Nothing too crazy came out from BlizzCon, but we have the Overwatch League, which is kind of interesting. It looks like Blizzard is really going to start pushing Overwatch as an esport, having their own dedicated league. Probably going to be named OWL, Overwatch League, or OL. I think they should go with OWL. But it's interesting because big money has started to enter esports. Like Shaquille O'Neal bought some Overwatch team recently, and the big money is coming. And the big money is good because it's going to hopefully add some stability to esports. And that's what this Overwatch League is aiming to do, is add stability to esports to where people aren't constantly changing teams and constantly dropping in and out of the scene. Like, have rosters and drafts and things like that to where there's some stability and to where you can actually root for a team without the team completely changing. And I like that they're doing regional esports teams. Like, I don't know, California will have like the LA Super Nerds or whatever the fuck they're called. I think that's smart. I think DJ Keemstar back in the day was always saying that they need to have regional esports teams because it's, if you're new to it, you don't really have anybody to pull for. Like, do you root for I don't know, what's the team? Envious? Like, do you root for them like just because you think their team name sounds cool? I mean, yeah, you can root for the personalities, but there's no real connection. I think if you add some East Coast, West Coast, USA, I like that. I like the Olympics, for example. I like rooting for the US because it's like us against them, and it's nice to be on a team, kind of, or at least have, I don't know, some sort of reason to see somebody win because you're like, hey, they're from our area. That's kind of cool. So anyway, Overwatch League, curious to see how that's going to do. Overwatch, obviously a very good game. I think that the game is good enough to carry a league. So, yeah. Sombra reveal, that was cool. I was totally fucking right, by the way. Anybody that's listened to the Hive Mind podcast knows that I totally called her having a hack mechanic that silences enemies from being able to use their abilities. I totally fucking called it. Fucking nailed it. So I'm happy about that. The character seems pretty cool. Lots of mobility, stealth, teleporting, close range SMG. She can hack people two separate ways. So she's got the hack, which is her alternate fire. It's her right click with her gun, and that's like probably a 1 or 2 second cast, and you kind of have to sneak behind people to do it. It seems like it's probably a pretty close range. And that will stop them from using abilities. So that's her alternate fire. And then her ultimate is a giant, like, AoE hack that hacks everybody and just does the same thing as her alternate fire does, but just instantly and to everybody all at once. That's my understanding from what I've seen. So that's a pretty cool character. That's going to be crazy because that's going to disable Reinhardt shields. That's going to stop Zenyatta. Apparently it stops Zenyatta's ultimate. So when he's like immune and going Super Saiyan, not anymore. That's gonna really shut down. I wonder if that's gonna stop like Pharaoh ults and Reaper ults and probably not Reaper ult, but Pharaoh ult. Who knows? I wonder if that's gonna be like a blanket silence for everything. Like, it just says abilities, so who knows? So that's kind of neat. What else we got? Overwatch competitive. I was watching the Overwatch World Cup. That was cool. That kind of goes back to what I was saying with, I don't know who actually won that. I guess, I haven't looked, but I would assume that the South Korea team won because they were just shitting on everybody. But that was cool to see the top players from each region being put on teams. The U.S. team seemed to be the top Twitch streamers, not the top players, because they didn't do that badly, but it kind of seemed like it was get the most popular streamers and put them on a team, whereas some of the other, I don't keep up with the Overwatch pro scene that much, but it seemed like the other teams really were just like the best players from the region. So I don't know what to think about that, but I like that idea of having like Team USA, Team Russia, Team South Korea, whatever, and then them all playing each other. I think that's neat. I think that's a nice change of pace from the way it currently is, where kind of just the team with the most money just picks up all the good players. Because that's kind of how esports are right now. There's no like salary caps or anything like that. I wonder if the Overwatch League is going to implement that. Who knows? What if they're gonna have like salary caps and stuff? Because that's kind of the way it is. Really, the team with the the team with the most money and the most like sponsorships and the most like reach, kind of just scoops up everybody, and it snowballs from there. Really. So, yeah, I think that's about all from BlizzCon I wanted to cover. There wasn't anything crazy about WoW that came out. No new games. It's kind of a boring BlizzCon, I think. Nothing like too crazy. They kind of like already showed everything beforehand. No legacy servers. That shit. Nothing about legacy servers. That doesn't surprise me at all. Apparently they have a reveal about legacy servers after BlizzCon, but I wouldn't hold my breath for it. We'll see if they actually do anything or not. But I wouldn't get your hopes up about that. Got into some drama this week. Oh wait, I had another thing about legacy servers. Yeah, Mark Kern made another legacy server petition. Okay. Here's my thing with Mark Kern. This guy seems like the biggest attention whore of all time. Like, it seems like he just wants to stir up shit to, like, get his name as far away from Firefall as possible. Because the thing that people don't know about Mark Kern is he fucking ruined this game called Firefall, which had so much potential. He ruined it by just spending all of the game's money on stupid bullshit. Like, he had, like, a YouTube channel where he made, like, cosplay videos, and he made a giant Firefall bus that West Coast Customs did that they spent, like, $1 million on. Like, it was the fucking most ridiculous shit ever. And he just, like, ruined that game in so many different ways. And now to see him, like, praised as some sort of hero for fucking legacy servers, it just irritates me. And I think he's just annoying. Like, ugh. I look at his Twitter sometimes, and it just kind of grosses me out. So, maybe I read the guy wrong, and maybe he's not that bad, but he seems like one of those kind of people. So, I think that's all all I had here. Got into some drama this week with the Hansol video. So these guys came out with this video about Hansol, which I have no idea if Hansol is this terrible person or not, but in my opinion, that's kind of irrelevant. My issue with the whole situation was the video. These YouTubers that do these exposed videos are fucking cancer. And I am someone that does not like to critique the content that people make because I realize that everybody likes different stuff. I'm not one to talk shit about PewDiePie or his videos because people like what they like. I like what I like, and what I like you might not like. And that's just kind of the way the world works, right? And I don't mind these exposed videos by themselves. Like, I don't mind if it's like somebody, for example, let's say PewDiePie makes a video and he's calling somebody out for some bullshit. I don't mind that because PewDiePie is not an exposed channel that only does that kind of shit or mainly does that kind of stuff. My issue is with these people that's all they do, because I think that's just so sad, and it's a conflict of interest, right? Because a lot of these YouTubers are trying to do this full time or are doing this full time, so they have financial incentive to pump these videos out, these exposed videos out. So what that leads into is them making shit up, stretching the truth, or just fucking flat out lying about people to make these exposed videos happen more often, because realistically, there aren't that many shitbags out there. There aren't that many people that need to be exposed on a twice a week basis to have a content upload schedule. That's my biggest problem here, is that when your whole channel is around that, not only is it sad, but there's a huge conflict of interest there. So when these videos come out every now and then and they're warranted, I don't mind. I don't mind people talking shit about each other, but when you have to stretch the truth and do this like ridiculous shit, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And that video that they made was just dumb. Making a really big deal out of small things, or like, for example, the subway clip with Hansol in the subway in South Korea with the giraffe hat on. They made that sound like they made that sound insane. So I have an issue with that. Asmongold actually had the guy on his live stream. I will link this in the description down below. Asmongold gave me permission to upload this. I'm just going to upload it as unlisted. I just wanted to archive the clip for the sake of the podcast, because Twitch will eventually delete the VOD after like 3 weeks. So I downloaded the clip. You can watch the whole thing. This dude, Asmongold, just masterfully debates this guy. It was a true thing of beauty. I could not have done that. Asmongold kept his cool and didn't go in for the kill. Then I'm not saying that as like a bad thing. No, like he really let this guy dig his own grave, and it was truly fucking brilliant. It's a long interview, debate, whatever you want to call it. I think it's like 45 minutes. So take a look at that. I uploaded it as unlisted. I don't care to make that public or anything, but for the sake of the podcast, I want to have something that you guys can watch back if you're watching this a year later. But dude, did he do a good job with that. And I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like, the second that dude contradicted himself, I'd have been like, bullshit, blah, 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 and I would have killed it. Whereas Asmongold was just like, okay, and he just let him keep fucking digging. It was brilliant. So be sure to check that shit out. It was fun to get into some YouTube drama. First time in a long time I've gotten into some YouTube drama. And speaking of that Vexxed guy, which is hilarious. Let me see if he's still got this video up. Oh my goodness, dude. So he was giving Hansol all this shit about breaking the YouTube terms of service. And then this dude goes and uploads a video showing his Google AdSense. How much money I make on YouTube. This breaks the terms of service for YouTube. So you're not allowed to tell people how much you make, much less show the actual analytics. And any YouTuber that has done this knows that you're not supposed to do that. So he went out and just did that. He says it's not against the terms of service, but me and like every other fucking YouTuber knows you're not supposed to do that shit. So I just find that hilarious that, you know, Hansel's this big bad guy for breaking the terms of service, and then this guy's literal next video is him breaking the YouTube terms of service. And in the video he talks about, like, I'm the only YouTuber to ever do this. Like, I wonder why. Fuck. Holy shit. That's hilarious to me. There was a half-assed fight at BlizzCon. Trainwrecks TV slapped Wreckful and punched this Barry. I wonder if it's the Barry the monk guy in the face. So that's always fun. That's a dead-end story. I had nothing else to add to that, but that happened. Here's one we can talk about. Let me see if I missed anything here. The Eugenia Cooney situation. So I have not talked about this. I was going to talk about this in the podcast like 2 weeks ago, and we just never got around to it. I had a few people ask me like what I thought about this whole thing. So none of you guys probably know who this is, but there is this girl named Eugenia Cooney who makes like girly fashion makeup videos and, I don't know, vlog style stuff, right? And she is anorexic. Like, there's no getting around it. She is severely anorexic, Auschwitz 2.0 levels of thin. And it's pretty sad. Obviously, anytime you see that, it's obviously pretty sad. But a lot of people are saying they need to ban her off YouTube. She shouldn't be allowed to make videos. Blah 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 blah, all that shit, right? And I strongly disagree with that. Not for like her well-being or any of that bullshit, but I think that no one should be banned from making videos, including the exposed YouTube channels. Like, including, even though I hate them and I think they're cancer, I think they should be able to make the videos. That anybody should be able to make videos of anything as long as it's not like crazy child porn and there's like victims and shit. Like direct victims, whatever. I mean, you could say, oh, she's indirectly victimized or making people want to do anorexic shit. You know what I mean. But I don't think anybody should be banned from doing things. In the case of the exposed channels, they should be allowed to do that, but they should face the consequences for doing it, and you should be allowed to shit on them for doing it. So that's my stance on that. She should not get banned from the website for being anorexic. However, the situation is pretty sad. She is clearly anorexic, clearly ridiculously unhealthy, and I don't know if some of the people that watch this don't think so. I would love to see her do some sort of like physical challenge, some sort of physical fitness test, because she would fail with flying colors. There's just no way. There's no way. She might be like a naturally thin person when she's healthy, but that's not naturally thin. That is fucking... That's pretty rough there. So this is why... So this is a weird situation, right? So... This is weird because people that have this disorder, this anorexia nervosa, whatever they call it, they cannot be reasoned with. Like, you can't just tell them, like, dude, you're too thin. You need to eat some food, right? They're way past that. And with her situation, it's really dire because there are some people that say that, oh, you look great. So she's getting mostly negative feedback, and that negative feedback doesn't help her. It doesn't like affect her because she's so far gone. But then she's also getting positive feedback, which is just making it worse. And then she's also getting monetary gain from doing it. Let's be real. If she wasn't this anorexic, freakish looking skeleton, people wouldn't be as interested. She's got this, she's controversial right now, and controversy sells. So she not only has people praising her, saying she looks great, which I think are trolls, but she's also got the monetary incentive to kind of keep this train rolling. And other YouTubers have done this in the past to keep the controversy rolling. They, are very ambiguous. Like, there was this one girl who was... people thought that she was like being kidnapped and forced to make videos, which she wasn't, obviously, but she kept the facade up and kept making her videos very, very mysterious and weird in order to like make people keep thinking that for the views. And I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of done that shit before too. I can't think of like any specific examples, but I've definitely done it. And the thing is, controversy sells. Like, the most money I've ever made in my life in a single day was when Swifty got banned. I made so much fucking money in those 3 days. That one day in particular, but the whole weekend, I made a fucking retarded amount of money. The most money I've ever made in my life from that thing. And that was a pretty intense moment because I had like, WoW had like 12 million people playing at that point, and they all hated me. So I made like a ton of money off people just spamming my channel, calling me a faggot and telling me to kill myself. I couldn't even play WoW because I got so many whispers it would disconnect me from the game. So that was a crazy day. So controversy sells. In her case, I hope she gets some help. Clearly, she fucking needs it. But it's a tough situation for YouTube, kind of, because does YouTube go like, hey, this is like pretty fucked up, right? They probably won't, and they shouldn't. But if anybody, I don't know, she won't see this podcast, but as a YouTuber, she could turn this shit around. Like, she could imagine if she made a video series about her getting healthy and her like recovering and she starts eating again, and she goes to the gym and puts on some fucking muscle mass, and you have this like transformation. It's like this inspiring thing. Like, she doesn't have to be a fucking, like, she can flip the script and not be this anorexic freak for views. Like, I'm not saying she's doing it just for views. That came out wrong, but like, she could fucking spin this and be even more successful, I think. So yeah, man, that's sad. I'm looking at her fucking thumbnails, dude. These are fucking brutal, man. Holy shit. I was gonna look at her oldest video and see. Yeah, like, you can, like, she might be like a naturally kind of thin person by default, because looking at her older video, she doesn't look freakishly like scary thin. She's definitely still thin. Maybe there's still something there in these old videos from 3 years ago, but in these newer ones, holy shit, there's no denying. Let me look at this first video she uploaded. Okay, she's definitely still fucking super thin, but it's not as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Fuck. Like, I'm looking at the comments, man. Some of the comments on this video is just here to see if she's still alive. Jesus Christ. Good God. All right, let's move it on. Been going for 23 minutes here. Oh boy. At least that's. I think I might be wrong. Bill Cosby, my client is not a meme. That's a real thing that was said. Apparently, Bill Cosby's lawyer came out and said, my client is not a meme. That's something. Hillary for oh yeah, there was some nice Hillary Clinton corruption drama. Another, where do you even start with that shit? Hillary for prison was globally trending on Twitter this week. The Donna Brazil, I guess it's Donna Brazil. I don't know. She was a CNN contributor and ended up giving Hillary Clinton all of the questions to the debate. Are we surprised? No. Jesus Christ. She ended up getting fired from CNN. Oh yeah, I missed this one thing. So Hillary for prison was trending on Twitter, right? But they had to misspell it intentionally because Twitter blocked the Hillary for prison hashtag. So they misspelled it Hillary for prison with I-O-N instead of prison with P-R-I-S-O-N. They spelled it P-R-I-S-I-O-N. They had to intentionally misspell it because Twitter has blocked that hashtag from trending globally. So ain't that some shit? Trump was leading Hillary Clinton in an ABC poll this week by 1 point. Apparently this shit's way closer than I thought it was. If Trump fucking wins, holy shit, I will shit my pants. That'll be hilarious. Moving on here. Wienergate. The Hillary Clinton investigation has been reopened apparently because Anthony Weiner kept all those fucking emails and shit on his computer. And now we have something called Wienergate. Wienergate is a real fucking term. This election is a complete shit show. Holy fuck. Let me look here. Alright, and the last thing I want to talk about. Crowfall. Crowfall open world testing has started. It's very exciting. I'm very pumped up. I was playing some Crowfall today, as well as playing it a whole lot. I've played it a whole lot this weekend. Open world testing has started, which means there are, you're in a world, you log in, it's a persistent server, your character stays where you logged out at. You have an inventory and all that stuff. It's not match-based anymore. And you can do crafting and survival style stuff, like you have to eat food or you die, that kind of thing. So mainly just messing around, testing mechanics, testing the crafting out. The crafting is super in-depth. If you're a crafter, I made a Crowfall video earlier. You're going to see this video on Monday, but I made it on Sundays, which is today. But made a Crowfall video talking about it. Be sure to check that out. But, yeah, dude, if you're a crafter, if you want to be a dedicated crafter or gatherer, this is the game for you, dude. The crafting is so in depth. You specializing as a crafter is a real thing. Not only do you have to learn the skills in the skill tree, it's like EVE Online where the skills are time gated, so you have to be, if you're a dedicated crafter and you go and skill and put your time into getting good at crafting, that means you sacrifice, combat potential or other sort of traits that you could have picked instead, that you have to sacrifice to be good at things, which is nice. I got a text message from somebody. But that's the way Crowfall is. You can't be good at everything. If you want to be a badass miner, then you can't be a badass crafter at the same time, or it's going to take a really long time to be able to train up both. So, that's cool. So if you're into that kind of shit, then this is the game for you. The crafting is very in-depth. You can make tons of custom items with custom stats, name your items. It's intense. Just to make a sword, it's pretty complicated. Like some of the armor pieces have like 6+ materials, and those materials are have subcomponents. So to make like a leather padding, for example, like leather padding is something you need to make leather armor, and that's one of the 6 components you need for this base level piece of armor. And the leather padding also has components that take like 12 leather, whatever. Let's say wool if that's a resource. I don't know what it is, but the leather padding alone takes like a whole bunch of different stuff and all of the qualities, and whatever sort of leather you use, whatever wool you use, whatever wood you use, all affects the stats in the end. And then you can experiment. Like you can do so much shit. It's fucking crazy. So I'm very pumped about that. The duelist is very cool. It's the new archetype. Don't know if I'll be playing one. I'm going to try to get some footage and make a duelist video. But we'll see how that goes. Really enjoying the Myrmidon. I hope it doesn't catch a crazy nerf. I really don't want them to nerf it. I know I'm very biased because I'm probably going to be playing one. But I don't think the Berserk mechanic needs to be nerfed. I think maybe the C-Power does. The C-Power cheese is a little crazy. Like, how hard that shit hits is pretty bananas. But the Myrmidon is very strong. There's no getting around it. It's very strong with the way the testing is currently structured as well. So, yeah, be sure to check out that new Crowfall video I put out. It will kind of highlight what this new test is about. And if you're interested in Crowfall, be sure to sign up with the referral link down below. I get a kickback, and you get 5% off, as well as getting into the beta for free. Gotta sell out while I can. Dude, it's crazy though. I cannot believe how many of you guys have used that referral link. That's fucking like thousands of you guys. Thousands. Very excited for the game. Very excited for the future archetypes. I want to see what the Templar is. There's so many archetypes, so I want to see what they are. The Frostweaver looks like it could be interesting with like frost walls and like slippery ground and shit. But I really want to see what the Templar is. Because I think I want to play a tank in this game. Like, I like the way the Myrmidon is. And I think a tank, just based off the way I play, is probably the best bet for me in this game. But Templar, Assassin looks like it could be pretty cool. Assassin might be the next one, because they've already added stealth. Which was something that was holding the Assassin back, because they didn't have the stealth tech built. But anyway, that's all I want to talk about Crowfall. I think I might just end it there. We were right at half an hour according to this. I don't think I'm going to do comments. I think I'm going to save the comments for when Dopamine gets back. But, yeah. So, be sure to check out the juicy Hansol drama. Blizzcon. Well, not that exciting this year, but it's okay. I was right about Sombra. Overwatch competitive is actually pretty fun to watch. I'm just going through my topic list here. Yeah, I guess that's all I want to talk about this week. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the Zyback monologue. Hopefully this came out coherent. I was probably a little bit all over the place. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. See you next week.